In today's video, I want to talk about a few quick tips that you can implement today to write better captions for more engagement. Number one, start with a hook that stops users from scrolling. You want to start with a killer hook to grab attention. Think about BuzzFeed and the irresistible headlines that BuzzFeed are using. That is what you want to do. And in your hook, you also want to include emotions, because emotions help us to connect with certain pieces. And emotions could be happiness, frustration, fear of missing out. And all these emotions really help to connect with your audience. When writing captions, you can also consider writing them in all caps to stand out more in a crowded space. Or you can also think about using emojis in your captions. Both of them I would use sparingly. I would not overcrowd my caption with emojis, but an emoji here and there can really make it pop. The goal when writing captions is really to entice the viewers to stop, consume your content, click on the more button and engage with your content. And then patterns that work well, for example, on Instagram. Ask relatable questions. So for example, are you posting daily but not seeing any growth? You can also use bold opinions. For example, stop writing long captions that nobody reads. Or you can tap into the FOMO, so the fear of missing out or the pain. For example, if you're not doing this and this in all caps, in your captions, you're leaving money on the table. And there's a few format tricks that you can use to make your captions stand out even more. And I mentioned it earlier already. You can use all caps, you can use emojis, or you can use those brackets to highlight something. So in those brackets, you can say free guide or consultation to really draw the eye to it. You want to keep your hook. You want to keep the part that stops users from scrolling within the first 125 characters. So it shows before the more cutoff. You want to make sure that everything that is really important to stop a user from scrolling is in the top part. And then number two, you want to build an emotional connection. Once you hooked your audience, dive into the problems they're facing. You want to highlight their struggle, like spending hours on mediocre captions or failing to convert posts into meaningful engagement. To build credibility, share your own experience, share your own problems. This will make your content more relatable and it really helps to build trust. For example, you can talk about how you dreaded writing captions before discovering an effective formula that transforms your approach. For example, I could say, I dreaded writing captions until I found this solution. But here's another tip. You can also use your captions to weave in those micro stories, because we all know that storytelling, that really builds trust, that really helps to connect with someone. So instead of saying, I struggle writing captions, you can elaborate a bit more. Bring it really home for people to resonate. You can say, I once spent 4 hours writing the perfect caption just to end up with 3 likes. And one of those likes was my mom. Sharing your story, sharing your problems, that really helps to build trust. And it also helps a viewer to understand, look, this person has been in my shoes and they found a solution. Step number 3, you want to deliver value in a structured way. To finish your engaging caption, you want to offer value. So you can offer a resolution, you can share a practical tip and advice, something motivational, something that the user can walk away with and think about. So your caption formula should be hook, problem, personal story, solution. Keep in mind that people skim on Instagram, so they keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. So you have to make your tips and your caption very skimmable, very easy to read. So I recommend using line breaks every 1 to 2 sentences. And again, you can use emojis, you can use bullet points just to break it up, to make it visually more appealing. So when you write captions, start with your hook to grab attention. Go into the problem. What is your audience struggling with? Include credibility in a form of storytelling, sharing a quick tip and advice, something that they can walk away with. And lastly, solution. Deliver a clear tip, an advice, a recommendation, something motivational that they can walk away with. And step number 4, always include a call to action. Add a clear call to action, or short CTA, to guide your audience to what you want them to do next. So would that be downloading your free guide? Would that be calling you for free consultation, or scheduling a discovery call? This step does not only provide value, but it also strengthens the engagement and positions you as the go-to expert. By following this structure, you can captivate, connect, and convert effectively. Every caption, everything that you put out there should tell your audience what you want them to do next. So for example, there are some engagement call to actions, could be double tap if this resonates, drop an emoji if you agree. For more of a conversational call to action, you can ask them, and going back to the caption example that we used here in this video, what's the hardest part for you writing captions? And then if you want them to convert, so conversion call to actions would be click the link in my bio to download my free starter kit or my free ebook. Use low friction call to actions when your goal is engagement. So for example, drop an emoji if you agree, or double tap, or save this for later. These are very low commitment call to actions. This is very low commitment from the user. They just double tap and save the post for later. But you want to save those heavier call to actions, so download my free ebook or give me a call for free consultation or discovery call. You want to use them when you already established a strong foundation, when you already delivered strong value. So do not use a call me on every single post, but make sure once you use those, download my free ebook or give me a call for a discovery call or consultation, you want to make sure that your post has a lot of value. So it makes sense for someone to call you or to provide the email address. Step number 5, test the caption length and style. When it comes to captions, there is no size fit all. Some audiences prefer short, punchy captions, whereas others prefer something that's a bit longer. Test the captions, try those short, quirky captions, but then also try a longer caption. There is no one size fits all. For some audiences, short, punchy captions work. For others, longer, almost like those mini blog type of captions work better. They get saved, they get more engagement. And when it comes to analyzing your captions, you want to analyze which caption and which post receives a lot of saves or shares, comments, or what caption even triggered someone to send you a direct message. Once you understand this, you can even further craft your captions. So you can find whether short captions work better, long captions work better, and you can also see what call to actions do my audience really resonates to. And I hope this gave you a quick idea on how to write captions that are more engaging. If you want to dive deeper, I uploaded a video on really understanding how to write captions and hooking someone in. So I will link this in here and also in the box below so you can check it out. If you have any questions on how to write captions, how to hook someone to consume your content, you can reach out to me at Nina@thesocialwisdom. I do this day in and day out. And this also led us yet again to another episode. I'm so glad you tuned in today, and I cannot wait to see you next time. Until then, goodbye, or how we say in Germany, auf Wiedersehen.